Hello, my name is Zach, and in this video I'm going to talk about the importance of feeling. Now, this is the second episode on how to deal with your negative thoughts or feelings. The message that I want to get across in this video is that it's so important for us as human beings to feel whatever happens in life. What happens is not really what's important, and what we feel about it, how it affected us, is what's important. That's the most important bit, because the feelings that we have is almost like an energy. So as a child, let's say as a child you were hit, right? Your parents raised their hand and they hit you, or they emotionally abused you, or they whatever, or maybe it wasn't your parents, or maybe it was something like an experience that you've had that affected you emotionally. Now to this day, this event, it still affects you. It still somehow affects you. You're still psychologically or physically affected by this. A lot of the psychological issues that we have, whether it's depression, anxiety, anger issues, loneliness, inability to form relationships, all of these psychological issues are because of the traumas that we've had. And what are traumas? In my opinion, traumas are nothing but bottled emotions. They are not what happens to you. You could see somebody die in front of you, but that cannot be a traumatizing event unless it's bottled up, unless some of the feelings is still inside. So what we really want to teach people is to teach them how to feel. Even to this day, there's still some people out there who almost deny the importance of feelings. They don't want to admit that we have all of these dark feelings inside, because they feel like, oh, these feelings are from the devil, you shouldn't feel them, or you're a man, you shouldn't feel, don't talk about your emotions, you're a man, don't think about your emotions. Well, our society still denies feelings, right? And that's tragedy. Actually, that's tragic that you still deny something that is inside of us, and it's a big part of us. In fact, it's the biggest part of us. As human beings, we are emotional beings. We're not logical. We justify our decisions with logic, but yet we are very emotional. That's the truth of all of us, because everything that we need in life is emotional. We need things because we want to feel that way, right? You need a relationship. Why? Because you want to feel loved. You want to be a big businessman. Why? Or a businesswoman. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to feel respected. You want people to know you. You want people to acknowledge you. All of these are feelings. So in a sense, all our lives is really dependent on our feelings and how we feel emotionally. So what you want to do is you want to have the courage to feel whatever you're feeling. Like I said, feelings don't kill you. You're not gonna die because of a certain feeling. And yet it could feel like we're gonna die if we feel it. And yet if we feel it, in fact, it's gonna be the opposite. We're actually gonna be alive, because what makes us dead inside is the bottling up of our emotions. Now what happens? As a child, your dad hit you. You felt hurt by that. You felt hurt because you don't want you feel like your dad is the respected figure, is the caring figure. And when that caring figure does something opposite of caring, you feel hurt. Now what do you do as a child? Well, if you were born in a very civilized society, then you would express your feelings, or there will be consequences to this. You'll have a way to express this feeling. But if you were born in an uncivilized society, in our societies, then what you need to do? Well, you can't show any emotion, especially as a boy. You shouldn't cry. If you cry, you probably get hit even more. So what's your choices? Well, you can't fight back, obviously, because that's your dad or that's your mom. Then what do? You bottle up that emotion. That emotion is still inside of you, and it still almost like goes into your body. Now, what does that emotion do? Well, it gets bottled up inside and it gets built. And then when every little experience, it triggers that experience and it grows. And then what happens is that you have a very, very dark feeling inside of you that transfers, that almost changes into a psychological issue. Now what do you have? Now you have an anxiety issue. Now you have a low confidence issue. Now you have a depression issue. Now you have panic attacks because of that experience that you've had. So what do? Are you hopeless? No, you're not hopeless. What you need to do is you need to go back there. What happens to you? You need to go back there, psychologically go back there, and you need to release that emotion. You need to feel whatever you felt. Maybe you felt like you wanted to cry. Then do that. Cry in front of your dad in your mind, right? And that's what we do in therapy. That's what we do in helping people. What I do personally, if somebody comes to see me, is that I will let you go back there. Some people are afraid to feel, so I will be there assisting them to go back there and to feel whatever they wanted to feel. Maybe it's not crying that you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to fight back. Then do that. Then we let you do that in your imagination. And this is therapeutic. We're not doing this, yes, you're gonna fight back your dad or your mom, which is a very taboo. You shouldn't do that in our religion, right? But what we need to do here is to release that emotion. That's what we need to do. And that's what heals us up. Now, the most important thing that you want to understand is be compassionate with yourself. There's something called compassionate curiosity. And I love that. I love that you can be compassionate, but at the same time you can be curious. And our Prophet Muhammad was very compassionate. He was also very curious, right? So you want to be compassionately curious about yourself. What does that mean? You don't want to be hard on yourself. You don't want to be judging yourself. Of course you don't. That's just going to add more issues. Why am I like that? Why this experience happened, like it's been 20 years and I'm still resentful until this point. Why am I feeling like that? I don't want to feel like that, right? That's just you judging yourself. It's not going to work. That's just going to make the problems even worse, because you were affected by judgments, right? You don't want to judge yourself. What you want to be curious and compassionate at the same time. You want to be like, oh, why do I still have this feeling? I wonder why. How did it affect me? And in that way, you heal up. I promise you. Thank you very much for watching. If you want help in this process, I do offer sessions, private sessions, so you can book them and I will walk you through this process to help you ease it. If not, then just listen to this, do this yourself, and I promise you, your healing, the sign of your healing is when you remember this, it doesn't affect you anymore. You feel more peaceful inside. Thank you.